Hey, what's up guys, MassShiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Now I've went back and forth on whether I wanted to specify in or just go pretty broad here. Quickly before we hop on into it, this is a new series I'm going to be calling the monthly case analysis. We're going to be looking at the two different cases unboxed quantities from the previous month and then the current month, comparing them and looking over the ones I feel is significant. It's going to be really interesting because we just got our January unboxing numbers, and it's quite interesting. If you guys have not seen it already, we've got a lot of cases that are starting to look a lot better than they were before. We got one case that's up 50% in unboxings. We're going to go over that and a couple of the big hitters in the CSGO investing area in cases. But before we hop on into it, if you guys are looking to pick up any CSGO skins or cases using real cash, I've got a couple links in the description, but let's hop on into it. Alright, first up here, we're going to be talking about the discontinued cases. Now, these are very important because all the other ones, we're going to be looking for them to have more unboxed than previously. However, with the discontinued cases, if they're maintaining, that is absolutely awesome for investors here. Now, I am going to include the Riptide here because we're presuming that in less than a month it's going to get discontinued, and therefore it should make its way onto this list. But first up here, we're going to be starting with Shattered Web. Shattered Web stayed pretty much even. We're roughly sitting at around that 100,000 mark, which is definitely decent. I will personally take that. However, when we move into Broken Fang right after that is where we're going to see quite a decent amount. We're going to see Broken Fang stayed even as well. This is extremely important because we saw 1.25 million cases unboxed. That's 12.5 times higher than what we saw with Shattered Web. Now, both of these are discontinued. However, there's a lot more Broken Fang cases out there. However, that number is significantly decreasing so much quicker than what we're seeing with the Shattered Web case, and that raises a lot of potential investment options. Personally, I am not going into the Broken Fang case. I think, at least in my eyes, there is some better opportunities out there. However, that's just my personal opinion. I'm looking at it at the fact that I could have bought it for 35 cents. Right now, it's sitting at over double that. Personally, I'm just going to take the loss on that area and go and put that money into the Riptide case here. Now, they are not exactly even. Obviously, the Broken Fang case had that print stream, which is propelled it so much quicker than what we saw with the Shattered Web case and what we're going to see with the Riptide case. However, it's definitely still not a terrible option if you're looking to go into the Riptide case. And speaking of the Riptide case, that one did a little bit better than what it did in December, but it's really staying roughly even. It was less than a 10% increase, and we're looking at 3 million unboxed here in January, which is definitely extremely good. We like to see that it's consistent still being unboxed, especially when we've got that Dreams and Nightmares. However, February is going to be a little bit challenging for the Operation Riptide case here because we do have that Dreams and Nightmares, and it's going to become cheaper and cheaper to the point where it's going to be cheaper than the Riptide case, and we're going to see where the Riptide case falls after that, if it still has demand from people opening it or not. The coverts at some point are going to have to be a little bit more balanced because, at least in my eyes, the Riptide coverts are completely lacking where they should be. However, I do still think there is quite a bit of potential there. After that, we've got pretty much my main focus of the video. I was deciding if I should make a video about this specific case, and that's going to be the Revolver case. Now, the Revolver case is really interesting because it's been around for so long. I actually made a video about it last year, and people called it a joke because the case was sitting at 4 cents, 5 cents, whatever small price points. Now we're seeing triple that price, and we're looking at around 15-ish cents here, and there's a lot of them starting to disappear off the market. However, there is a lot of skepticism that comes with the Revolver case. First up, we're seeing it now with the Danger Zone case. The Danger Zone case got removed from the active or dropping prime pool and moved into the rare pool. However, it really hasn't translated to any price increase, and that's because there's so many cases out there. Now, the Revolver case has been out for a long time, but it's been dropping for a long time, so it brings a decent amount of skepticism there that unless we see unboxings go absolutely crazy for the Revolver case, it might not be able to overcome this insurmountable barrier that has been put on it just because it has been so long gone and there's been so many of these dropped that we just don't know where the case stands. With all that being said though, the case is up 50% compared to December unboxings. We're looking at 200,000 in December and 300,000 in January of 2022, which is really nice to see if you're invested like myself into the Revolver case. The one thing about the Revolver case is you're investing 100% for the knives here. Now there is a very small chance there's an R8 buff, which would make the case significantly better, but at this point I think that's pretty much off the table and you're just mainly going to be going for those vanilla knives here, which if they continue to increase in price could definitely be a really good outcome for a lot of Revolver case holders. After that we've got the Bravo, the Weapon 2, and the Esports 2013 Winter case. Now these ones have all doubled in the amount of cases that have been opened. However, we need to take that and dive a little bit deeper here. Now we know this table is made up of a pretty specific analysis. However, that doesn't mean that there can't be a bias here. Now there's probably a large bias here because it doesn't mean that there was necessarily a double amount of case openings. This could have meant that there was just a couple more of these battle scarred coverts dropped than normal, or whichever skin they're using to calculate. So I don't think that necessarily doubling is going to be the right analysis here since we're dealing with such small numbers. However, these cases all have one thing in common. Other than the Bravo case, which obviously has that fire serpent, we're looking at only one red outcome for the Weapon 2 and the Winter case here. This makes the pinks great trade up fodder, and if you're looking to do some trade ups, these are the cases you're going to be opening so you can get that decent improved odds like you see in those Sparkles trade up videos where he's always going with the P90 cold-blooded because it's only got one thing above it. You're obviously going to see either the Scout in the Water or the CZ Victoria are usually what's going to be getting if you do not hit your desired outcome. After that, then we've got our two very popular cases. First up is the glove, which has definitely dropped down in price from where it was. However, we're still seeing an increase on unboxings, which is quite surprising, at least in my eyes. It went from about 400,000 to about 500,000, which is definitely pretty significant when we're looking at a case at that point. The glove case is quite expensive, and if it continues to still be unboxed at this high rate, so this is not something that should just be disregarded. After that, then we've got the Breakout case to wrap it up. Now the Breakout case is one that's always been the pioneer of growth. We usually see it like almost outpacing the market at like a week's length, just because whenever it starts to go up, the market usually follows here, and the Breakout's got some pretty promising news moving forward. We're seeing that there's about a 50-ish to 60-ish% increase, going from 257,000 unboxed to 415,000 unboxed, equating to a 61.7% increase exactly, which is extremely significant. However, it does contain that very expensive price point, so there might be better options if you're looking to actively invest than the Breakout here, because you might not be getting the best return on investment in the percentage form. That is really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Quite a bit of good news for CSGO case investors here, but as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.